Entering the Manosphere, A Look Inside, written by Michael Kimmel, author of Guyland, The Perilous World Where Boys Become Men.
The manosphere is a complex and concerning online world. It is a network of websites, forums, and blogs that promote a specific view of masculinity. This view often includes hostility towards women and traditional gender roles.
The Manosphere emerged in the late 20th century alongside the internet. Key figures like pickup artist Mystery and author Rollo Tomasi helped popularize its ideologies.
The manosphere encompasses a range of beliefs and groups. Some common threads include anti-feminism, men's rights activism, and a focus on male dominance. These groups believe that men are disadvantaged in modern society and argue that feminism has gone too far.
This perspective fuels resentment and anger towards women. It promotes a sense of male victimhood. Many within the manosphere believe in traditional gender roles.
This rigid view of masculinity limits men's emotional expression and personal growth. It also perpetuates harmful stereotypes about women. The manosphere's influence is undeniable. It has contributed to the rise of misogyny and violence against women.
It is crucial to understand the manosphere's origins and ideologies to combat its harmful effects. By recognizing its tactics and challenging its narratives, we can work towards creating a more equitable and just society for all genders. Misogyny, a deep-rooted problem.
Misogyny, the hatred or prejudice against women, is deeply ingrained in our history. It manifests in various ways, from subtle biases to overt discrimination and violence. Historically, women have been viewed as inferior to men. They were denied basic rights and opportunities. This deeply rooted sexism has created a power imbalance that persists today. Misogyny manifests in everyday life through sexism, objectification, and violence against women.
Breaking down gender stereotypes.
Gender stereotypes are oversimplified beliefs about how men and women should behave. These stereotypes limit potential and perpetuate inequality.
Men are seen as strong and unemotional, while women are expected to be nurturing and emotional. These expectations harm both genders.
It's essential to challenge these stereotypes for a more equitable society, encourage boys and girls to pursue their passions regardless of gender norms.
Pickup artists and the red pill manipulation and control.
The pickup artist culture and the red pill ideology promote harmful views about women and relationships.
Pickup artists teach men techniques to seduce and manipulate women. They use tactics like negging and peacocking to gain control.
This objectifies women, reducing them to conquests.
The red pill ideology promotes a cynical view of relationships. It argues women are inherently manipulative.
This encourages a distrustful approach to women.
Both contribute to a toxic dating culture. They promote manipulation and control.
It's crucial to reject these ideologies and promote healthy, respectful relationships. The mental toll of toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity takes a heavy toll on men's mental health, leading to a range of emotional and psychological issues.
The pressure to conform to rigid masculine norms forces men to suppress their emotions, denying them the opportunity to process and express their feelings healthily. This emotional suppression can manifest in anger, aggression, substance abuse, and even violence.
Men struggling with toxic masculinity may find it difficult to build meaningful connections and form healthy relationships. They may fear vulnerability and intimacy, leading to isolation and loneliness.
The stigma surrounding mental health issues further prevents men from seeking help, exacerbating their struggles. It is crucial to recognize the detrimental effects of toxic masculinity on men's mental well-being.
We must challenge these harmful norms and encourage men to embrace vulnerability, seek support when needed, and prioritize their mental health. The crisis of masculinity, feeling lost in a changing world. The manosphere often frames its ideology around a perceived crisis of masculinity. This crisis narrative suggests that men are losing their place in society as women gain more rights and opportunities.
This perspective often stems from a resistance to change and a fear of losing traditional power and privilege. Men who subscribe to this narrative may feel threatened by evolving gender roles and the dismantling of patriarchal structures.
They may experience anxiety, insecurity, and a sense of displacement in a world that seems to be challenging their perceived dominance. However, it's crucial to recognize that this crisis is not about men being attacked or oppressed.
It's about men adapting to a more equitable society where traditional notions of masculinity are being challenged and redefined. This adaptation requires letting go of outdated beliefs, embracing equality, and finding new, healthier ways to define manhood.
Men's rights movements seeking equality or reinforcing hierarchy. Men's rights movements, MRM, are a complex and often controversial aspect of the manosphere.
While some MRM groups raise valid concerns about men's issues, such as high suicide rates and challenges in family courts, others use the guise of men's rights to promote misogynistic views and undermine women's progress.
It's crucial to distinguish between legitimate concerns about men's well-being and those that seek to maintain male dominance and control. Some MRM groups focus on addressing issues like men's health, fathers' rights, and educational disparities.
These groups often advocate for policies and programs that support men's needs without resorting to anti-feminist rhetoric or blaming women. However, other MRM groups use their platforms to spread misinformation about feminism, portray men as victims, and deny the existence of systemic sexism.
These groups often engage in online harassment, intimidation tactics, and attempts to silence women's voices. It's essential to critically examine the goals and tactics of different MRM groups.
Supporting those genuinely committed to men's well-being, while challenging those that perpetuate harmful stereotypes and misogynistic views, is crucial.
Online echoes amplifying anger and resentment. The internet has become a breeding ground for extremist views, and the manosphere is no exception. Online platforms provide a space for like-minded individuals to connect, reinforce each other's beliefs, and amplify their message. This echo chamber effect can be particularly dangerous in the context of the manosphere.
Men who may feel isolated or disillusioned in their offline lives can find validation and belonging within these online communities. They are exposed to a constant stream of content that confirms their biases, fuels their anger, and encourages them to view women as adversaries.
The anonymity of the internet further emboldens individuals to express extreme views and engage in hateful rhetoric that they might not otherwise express offline. This online disinhibition can lead to cyberbullying, harassment, and even incite violence against women.
It's crucial to recognize the role of the internet in amplifying extremist views and promoting harmful ideologies. Addressing this issue requires a multifaceted approach, including promoting media literacy, fostering critical thinking skills, and holding online platforms accountable for the content they host.
Challenging the narrative voices of dissent and change. Despite the manosphere's prevalence and influence, it's important to remember that it does not represent the views of all men. Many men recognize the harm caused by toxic masculinity and actively challenge these harmful norms.
A growing number of men are speaking out against misogyny, promoting gender equality, and advocating for healthier expressions of masculinity. These men are challenging the narrative of male victimhood and embracing empathy, vulnerability, and respect for women.
Organizations and initiatives like A Call to Men and the Good Men Project provide platforms for men to engage in critical conversations about masculinity, challenge harmful stereotypes, and promote healthy relationships. These voices of dissent are crucial in dismantling the manosphere's influence and creating a more equitable and just society.
By amplifying these voices and supporting men who are working towards positive change, we can create a world where all genders can thrive.
Building a better future, empathy, respect, and equality. Creating a world free from the harmful influence of the manosphere requires a collective effort to promote empathy, respect, and equality.
Education plays a vital role in dismantling toxic masculinity and fostering healthy gender norms. By teaching boys and girls about consent, respect, and healthy relationships, we can create a more equitable and respectful society.
It's essential to challenge gender stereotypes from a young age, encouraging children to pursue their passions and interests regardless of traditional gender roles. Open and honest conversations about gender, sexuality, and relationships are crucial in breaking down harmful stereotypes and promoting understanding.
Parents, educators, and community leaders all have a role to play in facilitating these conversations and creating safe spaces for young people to explore their identities and values. By fostering empathy, respect, and equality, we can create a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and empowered to reach their full potential.
Embracing healthy masculinity, strength in vulnerability. Moving beyond the confines of toxic masculinity requires embracing a healthier, more nuanced understanding of manhood. This involves recognizing that strength and vulnerability are not mutually exclusive.
True strength lies in the ability to express emotions authentically, build meaningful connections, and seek help when needed. Men need to be given the space and support to express their full range of emotions, including sadness, fear, and insecurity.
This requires challenging the societal expectation that men should always be stoic and unemotional. Vulnerability, far from being a weakness, is essential for building intimacy and forming healthy relationships.
By allowing themselves to be vulnerable, men can experience deeper connections and greater emotional fulfillment. Embracing a healthier masculinity benefits not only men, but society. It creates a more equitable and just world for everyone, free from the constraints of rigid gender roles and expectations.